Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 12 p.m. R9 Tech Bits mini-series. And the mini-series are just quick 30-minute tutorials of just things that I found going through all the different Google Suites. At Region 9, we focus on Google Suites. So today we're going to be talking about just brief introduction to Google Sheets, which I'm really excited about. So what are the outcomes of today's mini-series is to become more and more familiar with Google Suites and other technology resources, identify ways of utilizing those tools in your work and in the classroom. We want to try to set up those new tools and practice and play together if we can. Some tech bit norms are everybody participate. You can always choose to pass though. Be an active listener, open and honest. Don't be afraid to take those risks. This is a safe space for us that we're carving out for each other to support and respect and appreciate and look forward to those different ideas. So oops, I had an extra bullet point. On each of these PowerPoint presentations that you can find on the REC9 TechBits webpage, I try to post all the resources and videos that you can kind of catch up on things. So be sure to check that out. We have a practice and play, and I always include my contact information in case you have any questions or comments or concerns or any input. I always appreciate the feedback that I receive. Okay, so.
April, I'm sorry, I'm not seeing anything. Do you have that up on the screen?
Oh my gosh, I apologize. I must have not shared
maybe
the screen. No, thank you for telling me, Toby. Let's see. Okay, can you see that now? Okay, apologize about that. All right, well, I did all that recording. Well, just welcome everybody. Welcome to the 12 p.m. R9 Tech Bits. So on each of these PowerPoint presentations, just make sure that if you need some extra additional resources, they're available. I also provide some notes for today's lesson or each week's lesson. So it kind of gives you the step-by-step in case you're one of those individuals that likes to read and go through the steps. And it has lots of different links. And then I've also included my practice and play sheet on this page, as well as, and let me chat that in the chat room right now so you guys get to it, as well as the practice and play session, as well as the other resources that I mentioned in the PowerPoint. So there's a couple of places to find those, which is amazing. Okay, so quick poll of the audience via chat. 1 being I know nothing, 5 meaning I'm an expert. Google Sheets. Where are we at individually and how do we feel about using Google Sheets? 1, I never have used it. And then 5, I'm a master. So I'm going to look at the chats. Can be somewhat familiar. Thank you. Thank you. 3. All right, Rochelle. 3 to 4. All right, Toby. 2. Okay. This is awesome. Thank you guys for kind of letting me know where you're at. Different platform. I don't know. I've never tried that platform. Brian, you're going to have to kind of talk to me a little bit about that, but I will look at it. Thank you for sending that link. In fact, I may just pop that open right now so I have it later. Okay. All right. Let's double check. Damon Terry. Hey, Damon, how are you doing?
Doing good. You doing all right?
I'm doing okay. Are you still in Eunice? Was it Eunice?
No, I'm at Floyd.
Floyd, that's right, Floyd. Well, good. Well, I'm glad you're here. Well, welcome.
And I'm also eating my lunch, so I didn't turn my camera on. So
it's okay. I mean, we're all eating lunch and we're all just kind of taking the time to learn something during our lunch break. So I appreciate you just being here.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So, so there's a couple of things. I mean, Google Sheets is amazing. It is a slimmed down, trimmed down version of Excel. And if you've ever played with Excel and Microsoft Word, it's a powerful, powerful tool. So there's a lot to cover, and these are only quick 30-minute tutorials or just things that we kind of dive into as we go through. So I've picked out the top 5 that I think are kind of nice introductory kind of top tip that beginners can utilize as they learn how to use Google Sheets more and more. So this is an area or space for us to just become a little bit more comfortable with it. So poll of the audience again. Does everybody know how to get to your Google Sheet? Or do I need to walk through that? I see Toby kind of like, no, I'm good. Okay. Okay, yes, you do know how to get to your Google Sheets, and we do not need an explanation of how. It's all good. All right. Awesome. Okay, perfect. So let's kind of just jump in here. I'm going to also chat in the box this Google Sheet that I have made, so we can kind of practice and play together if you'd like to hop on with me. So I like collaboration. And that's the other awesome thing about anything Google Suites environment and Microsoft nowadays is it's all, you can collaborate with anybody from anywhere, as long as you have internet connection and you're connected to the web. So awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. I went ahead and picked out the top 5 tips for basic beginners. And this is a basic Google Sheet. What's the first thing that we do, people, when we create anything in Google, we rename it. All right, that's really important because in the Google Drive, in your drive or wherever you're at, it's just important to be able to locate and find that information. So make sure that you have that sort of setup and you rename your sheet immediately. That's my number 1 tip. The next thing I would like to show us is a lot of the same icons we're going to be seeing in Sheets as we would see in Google Docs. Okay, not exactly, but very, very similar. So let's kind of get familiar with the layout of this. Oh, shoot, I did not chat that. I apologize. Huh. Okay, give me a second. I apologize about that. And I've lost my chat. Oh, Brian left me. I want to do everybody in the meeting. That's me. Okay, here we go. So there's the link if you want to kind of hop on to our practice and play session today. So the first thing I'd like to kind of go through is automatic memory. And anything in a spreadsheet, we have columns, right? And rows. And each of those, in those columns, rows, you have cells. And those cells work together and talk to each other. And that's how we're able to create formulas, collect data, and then calculate that data and be able to look at it in a streamlined manner. So everything that you see will be kind of in a column and row format on your Google Sheet. The other thing is you have this second navigation toolbar, which is much like the one, similar to the one in Google Docs. And this is where you want to explore or try to find those key commands. Okay, that's one area. The other, the second navigation toolbar, or the third, well, this is the first and this would be the second. You see undo, redo, your print, your paint, paint, roller paint is in here, zoom. So all of these icons, very, very similar to a Word document or a Google Doc. And all of these icons are kind of like a quick and easy way for you to access certain powers in your sheet. So today I want to kind of play with automatic memory. So this is a nice thing to know about when you're working in Google Sheets and can save you a bunch of time. So what is automatic memory? It basically is kind of smart and it picks up on patterns. And you can click and drag those patterns down on your cell quickly, which is then could save you a bunch of time and you don't have to type in all of the information cell by cell by cell. Okay, so how do I accomplish that? So if I look at this 1 through 9 and I start over in column C, I have 1, 2. I'd like to continue the pattern down this column C. So how would I do that? The simplest way to do that is to highlight the two numbers. And if you notice, there's a little block, a blue block at the corner. You want to grab that and you want to click and drag it down. Viola. Okay. So, and the same thing happens here. So if I have a pattern of 5 and 7, it's intuitive enough to know that I want to continue that pattern down. So, hey, lot time saver right here. Same thing. So what about words? If I'm working on a calendar or months, you know, I can also quickly do the same thing. Highlight, find my blue box, and it's going to continue the pattern down through the week. Okay. So those are just some intuitive things that Google has placed in there that could save us a bunch of time. So that's called automatic memory. The other thing that we run into, and I'm going over to the second sheet, is sometimes when we're working with other people's data, or maybe they didn't plug in the data on a Google form correctly, and so it's submitted wonky. And Toby, you may find this handy because I know that you take a lot of information all the time. All of us do, but I thought this was really interesting. But this is called a split text. So how would I separate these out without having to go through the entire spreadsheet and fix it, right? How do I find these and fix them? So the easiest way to do that is to highlight, as you can see, this person didn't do a first and last name. They did on the first name, their first and last name. So I'd like to separate that out. So how do I split this information? Okay, and there, I think there is a way. I wanted to say that it was, but never mind. So I'm going to highlight the text that I would like to do. I would like to go to, I never can remember where it's at. I apologize. Give me a second. And this is half of the battle right here, you guys. It's just to like poke around. Oh, here we are. Okay, so it's under data. And if I scroll down, I see split text to columns. Okay. So if I click on that, it's going to give me a little drop-down caret. Now, this is the tricky part. So basically, what separates that piece of information? Do I see a comma? Do I see a semicolon? Do I see a period? No. What we see in this case is a space. So you want to select space and done. Okay. So I love that feature. I love it. I love it. Love it. I thought there was a way to do that. Right click. Does anybody see a split? I don't see it though. But so I guess I had to go up to data and then find split text to columns. So real easy way to clean up. That's really quick and easy. The other nice feature that Google has is a lot of times when we fill out Google Forms, we ask for certain information, timestamp, which takes up a lot of space, sometimes on the first column. And when I'm scrolling through and looking through all of my information and data, there's just certain pieces of information that may not be totally relevant at every juncture. So how do I remove or hide a column? And in this case, I want to hide the timestamp column because it's just not relevant to me at this point. And so I would like to hide column. Now, once you do this, it is hidden, it is still there, and you still collect it in your form, okay? But you just can't visually see it. And the way that I would know that there is a hidden column is, do you see that little black arrow that's on the left-hand side of the column B? Okay, that kind of identifies to me that there's a hidden column. Oops, and I can't quite, let me get out of there. There we go. There we are. Okay, so if I click I got to click out. And then once I clicked on that arrow again, so let's do that again. So it's hidden. And now I want to go back and see that hidden column. I click on this arrow and it simply reappears. Okay. And I can keep doing this all day long. Okay. So the other awesome feature that is really handy to know and learn more about, and this is something new that I learned last year that I'd like to reshare with you all. But when you're scrolling around on an Excel, you know, it kind of all moves together. But then if, say I have a timestamp and let's hide this, get that out of the way, that's great. But then if I go over this way, I lose, you know, I'm looking at briefly describe the issue that you're experiencing, and I don't even know who we're talking about anymore. So I would like to really freeze those columns. So how do we accomplish that? Let's see if we can get, let's maybe freeze up to the last name. So how we want to do that is we want to highlight the columns that we would like to freeze. Okay, so click and drag. And then I want to say it's a view. In view, you go to the second one down, it is freeze. And it gives you some basic choices. Okay. And it says row 1. So everything's in row and columns, right? So I would like to go to freeze up to this column B. Okay. But we wanted to freeze up to at least column D, right? It's kind of what we talked about. I want to at least see the first and last name of the information. So the easiest way to do that is once you create a freeze panel, this is the blue line that tells us that it's frozen. Okay, that's kind of your visual. And then if you hover over it, it turns into a little grabby hand. I want you to use that grabby hand. And I want you to grab, oops. You know, so, oops, I'm just, you know, if April could do that correctly. Oh, good job. Somebody did that. I didn't even have to do that. Can I just talk and y'all work? That's awesome. So good job. So grabby hand and then pull it over to the column that you would like to. Now let's move over. And yes, we have successfully, we've froze, I guess, column D. And so now I'm able to see Judith's Cruz's response, and just get a little bit more information, you know, and not have to keep going off, you know, not losing my visual and what person or individual that I'm working on or student that I'm working on. So that's really handy to always know. Okay, now this is the tricky part that I was talking about earlier. So I am going to start, I'm going to jump back over here. And this is just the video, one of the videos that I found. But I need to revisit how to do this last part. So let's walk through that together.
Freeze that first column quickly and easily. And one of my
Okay, hold on. Let me find it. I'm almost there. Okay.
One of my favorite things is to use an equal sign to do cell referencing. Notice when I change one cell, they all change. So what I simply do is I type equals and I click on the cell that I want to reference. So whatever's in B4 shows up in E3. I'm going to change this to cat and they all change to cat. Now what's really cool is when I add a new sheet and I type equals and I go over to a different tab and I click on the cell, I'm cell referencing to a different sheet and I can see the response show up in this sheet. So when I change the reference, it shows up with the value on the other sheet.
Okay, were y'all able to hear that?
Yes, we could hear it, April.
Okay, awesome. So let's try to practice and play with that because I keep trying to do this and I am not getting something correct. from, oh, some music playing all of a sudden. I don't know what's playing. Can y'all hear that? Oh,
Is it the YouTube video in the background?
is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
It
sorry.
may be, I don't know.
Nothing is working. Goodness. Whew. There. Okay. Sorry. Okay, back on track. All right. So basically, what did she do? She clicked in another cell, right?
Uh-huh.
Equals. Amanda?
I think so.
And then-
And
And then
click
I click on my reference cell, right?
yes,
Okay.
and then enter.
Enter. And
Now
then
go
if
change your reference cell.
and as long as I'm changing my reference cell, but
Yeah,
how do I get it to go everywhere?
that I don't know.
Either.
You got to go back and add equals to all those other ones.
I think the
All of
original,
these?
She
Yeah,
didn't though.
the original
didn't.
cell is is that C5?
I bet she did it and we just didn't see it.
Okay, hold on. And I think I got rid of that video because it was playing music.
Can someone give me an example of when you would do this, please?
You know,
I don't-
so I would think that this would be handy if I have certain categories that possibly shift to a different type of terminology or jargon. I could quickly grab all of that and change. So if I have certain things in a certain category that I need to rename, that would be a quick and easy way for me to accomplish that. And I mean, I don't know, I don't have a specific example. Amanda, do you have another example?
I have an example.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
you do?
When I'm working on budget, I can enter in all the like insurance costs on one sheet.
Okay.
And when I'm actually doing each individual person on another sheet, I reference back to that price on that other sheet.
Oh, so it keeps it really streamlined and less
then
errors.
Typing in Blue Cross Blue Shield high option for every employee, I just reference it back to that one place.
Oh, that's awesome. Great. See, Damon, is this Damon?
Yes.
Yes. You're a pro. That's amazing. So what were we doing? And so let's go back to this again, because I don't know how she did that.
I was saying
And-
the original cell was C5. That's the original cell. And if you change that, is that 5 or 6 or 7? The one where it says dog.
Oh, I can't. I'm sorry. Dog.
Found one more, April.
This one. I'm sorry. Yes.
I think that's the original cell. So it changes all the cells. Well,
So let's see.
since you changed the E and G, it probably won't do that.
Okay. So I'm not really sure. So somebody else, I'm going to stop share because I'm failing at this. Damon, would you be willing to share your screen and walk us through how you do it? Or whoever.
I'm playing with it. I added a sheet to yours, but
That's okay. But I am totally open to somebody else taking a stab at it and sharing their screen. I could totally make you a co-host and we can kind of learn together.
I can't figure it out.
I can't either. I've never, I do, and this is typical for Excel or sheets for me. You know, I'm not a very detailed person, and if something is out of place or I miss a step, it doesn't work. And I think that's where a lot of us get frustrated. So yeah, I don't know if any of you guys would be willing to share your screen and kind of walk through how to reference that with us, I would really appreciate it.
Damon might have been
Stephanie?
right. You may have to do each individual one and we just didn't see her do it in the
Okay,
video.
maybe
I don't know.
maybe so, maybe so. But
What
then
did they
and
call
then
this? What was this called?
it was called equal signs. Equal signs. Reference, cell reference. So yeah. Kind of bummed out about that. And and this is my second time doing this, and I just never can. I can get one to change, but I can't get the whole shebang. So
So you click the cell that you want to
What-
enter the formula.
can you share your screen?
Yeah, I just Googled. Just give me a sec. I just Googled it. I don't know. I haven't done it yet, so I'm just now reading.
That's okay.
Okay.
You're doing
Hmm.
awesome.
So click the cell you want to enter the formula. In the formula bar, type your equal sign.
Right?
Then do one of the following. Select the cell that contains the value you want to type its cell reference. You can refer to a single cell or a range of cells, or a location in another worksheet.
Which she did the second example.
When you're selecting a range of cells, you can drag the border of the cell selection to move the selection. The first cell reference is B3, which you see here.
Blue.
And then they must have just highlighted all the cells they wanted to do that with. So let me go back.
So if I want to
yours.
click everywhere to highlight, would that be like shift?
I'm going to come here. Can you still see the screen?
I can. You're doing good.
Okay. So I'm going to equals,
Yes.
and we're going to change it, or equals.
Yeah.
When do I, just a second, sorry.
And-
Can
So you want to reference what you want to,
So I click what I want next, right? And then I
And-
select all the cells. I don't know.
Oh,
No. That didn't work.
that didn't work. Okay, go. Let's do another one. So maybe the box under cat under F, or yeah, just pick another cell. Let's do it. Let's try it again. Okay.
Okay. So what do I do?
Okay.
Equals.
So equals, and then click on maybe one of them.
Click on the first one.
Okay. And can you hold down your shift key and just kind of select the rest of them
Yes.
and then enter? No, see? Like if we just highlighted straight down, it would be one thing, but they're jumping all over the place.
Don't
No.
the first one, A1, because you're creating a circular reference when you're selecting it.
See, we needed you. We needed your help. Okay, so I wanted to equal that. And then I'm gonna, it doesn't work.
All right, Damon, what are we doing wrong here?
I don't know.
You don't know. I know. Well, and this is how we learn together. It's okay.
So it changes that one, but it doesn't change.
It doesn't change all of them. And that was I can get one to change, and I can even reference in another. Oh, there's me chatting. I need to leave. Bye, Deborah. Thank you. Yeah, this has always been tricky to me, and I never have been able to get it honed in just so. But I do know that it does work.
I'm gonna play
I'm
with it
just-
now. I don't know when I'd
I
use
know.
it.
I'm
I
determined
like it.
too. Well, and I think Damon provided a great example of why that would be really efficient to use. And that way, if I needed to change that information, in his case, it would be like Blue Cross Blue Shield what you have to pay out every month or whatever, every payroll. It changes during the year. So you could just quickly change that one cell and then it populates into your spreadsheet of all the cells that you've referenced. So that's a really great example of needing to utilize that tool.
Right.
Well,
Thank you,
that
because
is-
I was like,
Oh.
I didn't even know what she was doing, so I didn't really understand the purpose, but that's very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right. It is 12:31. I don't want to bogart everybody's time. So I'm going to go ahead and stop record. We're going to stop for today's lesson. We are going to dive more and more into Google Sheets. I have some exciting new videos and tips moving forward that I think we can all utilize. But I'll probably break them down into, where we just kind of focus on one or two of how to accomplish, because as we move forward, we're going to be talking about pivot tables and charts and just how to make your data stand out a little bit more, how to filter your data, how to organize it, how to make it communicate with each other, and just create different types of tables. So there's so much that you can do, but we're going to just kind of piecemeal it together in our little quick 30-minute weekly times together. So thank you guys for coming, and I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.